here we are on a very cold morning. We've got up early today to get on this little boat, which is going to take us from the cruise boat up one of the side rivers, tributaries of the Yangtze River, somewhere called Shennong stream. And it's just going to do a little bit of a tour up there to look at the scenery. So we're now heading up this Shennong stream, and as you can see, it's not very stream-like. And this is because before the dam was built lower down the river, this was a small 1 meter high river running through some steep gorges. But since the flooding of the lake behind the dam, this is now 90 meters above the floor of the old valley, and everything looks an awful lot smaller now than it used to because we're so much higher up. Now we're heading through another small gorge further up the river, and you can see another small ferry going past us, which helps the locals get around this area. So even in this remote part of the country, the Chinese are building very impressive structures. This is part of the large motorway which runs from Shanghai to Chengdu, so that's about, say, across about a third of the country. But it's an amazing structure, and apparently out of the sort of 150 kilometers of road between here and Yichang, where the Three Gorges Dam was built, there's about 150 bridges similar to this one. It's a very impressive structure, and apparently it's only cost them about $16 million per kilometre, which, although that sounds like a lot, that's very, very cheap compared to what something in the West would cost. And coming up here, you'll be able to see some hanging coffins soon, which where the ancient people who lived in these mountains buried their dead. And the idea was, the higher up the mountain you could get the coffin, the more prosperous your family would be. And obviously when this river level was about 90 metres, 100 metres lower, it was a lot more impressive to get the coffins into these crevices. And you have to see in the crevice in front of the camera, there's a coffin hanging in it. Just going through the centre of the frame now. We're now back on the boat and we're cruising up the Yangtze River. Here's just some views off to the side, and you can see the clouds over the tops of the mountain still. And here's a view towards the front of the boat upriver, and quite soon we're going to get to one of the gorges which makes this part of the Three Gorges part of the river. So as you'll have just seen, we've come down the Qutang Gorge, and now we're back into the wide open areas of the Yangtze River, and I think the boat's about to moor up now for the evening. In the foreground you'll be able to see an island, which is the Jade Emperor City Island, which is a cultural area where some various people from Chinese history have ended up making their homes. But the area itself is very impressive, and the mountain you can see in the distance is the highest one in the Three Gorges region. And it's another night of cultural activities on the boat. There's a very nice band formed by members of the staff here.
So this is the final real day of the cruise, because tomorrow you just have breakfast and they just sort of kick you out. So we're actually travelling all night, not noisy or anything. All you can hear is the waves kind of lapping against the boat, but kind of quite therapeutic and it's quite samey, so it wasn't annoying at all. I've just been for breakfast, George just had a little lie-in, and this is our view this morning. So we're going to go on to a place called Fengdu, and then we'll go off to see the Jade Emperor Scenic Area.
So we're off the boat again, and we're now at the Jade Emperor Scenic Area, and we're being taken to the top of a mountain, and this is a very sacred mountain in Buddhism, and now we've got the task of striking this bell 3 times to get entrance into the temple.
Right, Juliet's turn.
And we're here, we have Juliet striking it 3 times, loud, louder and loudest, and we now have successfully gained entrance into the temple. We're now in one of the temple buildings with a 4-headed god who looks after the heavens, and that god had a lot of sons, and each son is lucky for a certain year. So I'm just hunting down my year, and apparently this one here is my year. So this bloke, Ren Shen Taoxiu, is the bloke who's lucky for me. This is a view up to the large head, which normally adorns the top of this mountain, and a dragon in the foreground, which symbolises good luck. The only problem is the bloke's head's been covered up at the moment. And we're now done with the scenic area, and we're walking along this very precarious pontoon bridge back to where our boat is, which is through this structure in front of us here.
So we've literally just set sail again from Fengdu. So this is us now. We just sail all the way into Chongqing and we get off tomorrow. So we have breakfast at 7 AM and I think they start kicking us out about 8 AM. So the whole day tomorrow we've got in Chongqing. We'll go and drop our bags off and then see what the city has to offer. So we've just had main courses. This is the captain's farewell banquet. So unlike all the other dinners we've had on this ship, this is table service. So it's like on the round tables and they just keep bringing food over to you. As you can see, the boat's only about half full, which has been quite nice actually. Not too much fighting for the buffet. But this is just the end of kind of a 4-day cruise down the Yangtze, and it's just quite a nice way to end it. And I'm just going to bring you back to our table and slyly try and show you the people that we've been eating with. So I won't talk, and I'll turn it off as soon as I sit down.